So hello everyone, welcome to another video of talking geeky stuff with me, Tenshi. And if this doesn't give you away, and of course the beginning little clip I clipped together, we're talking about Dragon Ball. All of these Dragon Balls. So Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. So Dragon Ball as a whole is definitely my top 5 anime series of all time. Before I go into the little history how I got into Dragon Ball. So if anybody did happen to watch some of my older videos where I talked about anime, you may have heard that, well, I did tell you that I'm a little bit older than most people, So from the UK, my dad used to work in Chinatown in London, and in Chinatown there was this video place that imported Hong Kong Chinese TV shows, movies, and so on, and you rent them out. But also not just do live action TV movies; they would do cartoons from Asia. So not only that, my dad would, when he finished his work, he would go to the video place, rent out the latest TV shows, movies, etc. For me and my brother, he would rent out cartoons for us. That's where he went into things like Thundercats. So I was one of the few people in this country who watched the whole season of the Thundercats before it kind of got, halfway through in this country aired. And I just remember in school that no one believed me. Not only just that, they rent out things that was from Disney as well, other cartoons. Well, I call it cartoons, but back then when you were kids, we didn't know the difference between American cartoons and anime, Japanese style, right? Of course, they would be dubbed into Cantonese for us. So one day he, not only that he knew that me and my brother loved giant mechs, robots, things like he rent out Transformers. So I saw Transformers before everyone else in my school. And that's when he got me Gundam, loads of Gundam stuff, Macross, or some people call it Robotech. So I was into that stuff. Other great animation with robots as well. And then just one day he came back with a couple of videos, 3 hours long videos of the very first Dragon Ball. Because he knew that me and my brother used to love Journey to the West, or the Monkey King story. And of course Dragon Ball is loosely based on that. I mean, the hero, Son Goku, he's got the same name as the Monkey King, Son Goku himself. It's loosely based on that. But of course, we watched that, we loved it. Then of course my dad ended up, whenever they release a new video, he'll rent it out for us. All the way through to Dragon Ball Z in the 90s. That place closed down, I think, around late 90s or early 2000s, I can't remember, when the digital age started coming out. And where imports were easier to get hold of, satellite TV and so on. So there was no need for videos no more. Of course, DVDs come out and so on. So yeah, that the rental place now is a restaurant. So, good memories, of course. After, the funny thing was, I don't think we ever finished. No, we did. We watched all the way through to Dragon Ball. It was Dragon Ball GT that the first time I watched it was in English. Then, of course, as I got older in university, and I noticed how Dragon Ball was pretty big in the popular culture, a lot of Westerners starting to watch it. And then it was weird because it was quite a culture shock, because from Dragon Ball all the way to Dragon Ball Z, when we was kids growing up to teenagers to adult, I've always watched them in Cantonese, dubbed Cantonese. So when I was at university, I saw my friends watch them in dubbed English, or sometimes dubbed the Japanese dub. That's when I realized. That's when I found out that Gohan was voiced by the same actress, a female and everything like that. Yeah, and then of course watching Dragon Ball GT. I've always found Dragon Ball GT. I mean, it's not bad. It's not amazing, I don't know if people consider it canon or not. Yeah, so then of course Dragon Ball Super, which I hope they continue. And then of course all the movies and so on. Speaking about canon, as much as Dragon Ball. I know that Akira, he didn't have much input in Dragon Ball GT. He designed a few characters and so on. And of course, he came back to do Super because after the the dreadful Dragon Ball live action, he kind of like, let's rectify a few things, get the sour taste out of his mouth. And of course, the last few movies was great, especially Broly. I thought that was a fantastic movie. I think it's my personal favourite movie with Broly. And I'm glad it's part of the canon. Dragon Ball Super is a mixed bag. I enjoyed it. It's better than GT, of course. But I felt it was a bit of a waste opportunity where the first two was like the Battle of Gods, Frieza Resurrection, which kind of told the story in the movies. But of course, they kind of extended it and so on. But I did like the ending. It was great. And I'm hoping they'll continue that storyline. There's one thing I did like about GT, though, is I did like the design of the Super Saiyan Level 4, the form. I quite like that design. I really do. Yeah, and then if it comes down to all the seasons, I think my favourite is still so far Dragon Ball Z. Yes, there's a few parts where it really dragged on, like the cell fights, especially the last 5 minutes of Frieza fight, which was 5 hours or something like that. So Dragon Ball Z is my favourite. Then Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's more comedy. I really like it. And of course, I remember when I rewatched it again in English, I didn't realise how much they cut out. Because when I watched it when I was younger, there's a lot of like slapstick nudity and so on. And of course, recently they re-released them all in uncut form. And then of course Dragon Ball Super. And then of course Dragon Ball GT. GT is my least favourite, but it's still not bad. I mean, he has some pretty good story arcs. Some characters are a bit annoying, but I don't mind it. And then of course the movies, fantastic movies. Of course, my favourite being Broly, the last one. Good animation, production value. I like the redesign of Broly. I'm glad that they didn't kill him off. I'm glad that he's part of the canon now. And I'm hoping when Super comes back, Broly will be the new arc. Maybe they even retell the story again in a longer form, which I don't mind. Because if they kind of do a kind of like a resurrection of Frieza, extend the story by using Broly, they can actually use that arc to tell Broly's story a little bit more. So I don't mind they do a retelling of Broly's story, but giving more character, a lot of backstory and so on and so forth. So I'm eagerly waiting to do that. Of course, with this whole pandemic, it's pushed a lot of things back. So I'm happy that Dragon Ball came back after a long time off. I mean, since then, there have been Dragon Ball movies, of course. There's been Dragon Ball, other franchises like the video games and so on, keeping Dragon Ball alive. So that's how I got into Dragon Ball, or because my dad used to just rent cartoons for us. That's one thing as well. When we was kids, when we was younger, we didn't, especially in the 80s, right? Mid 80s to the early 90s, when we was kids, young kids to teenagers, we couldn't tell the difference between anime and regular cartoons, right? But I've always found that when I watch certain cartoons, as we call it back then, like Gundam, Macross, Dragon Ball, I always find them slicker. The animation was slicker, a bit more violent, had more impact. Fighting was better, a better design. Set piece was better. Of course, as I got older, I realized, this is Japanese animation compared to Western animation. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is Dragon Ball your top 5 favorite anime franchise of all time? If so, which series do you like? Dragon Ball GT, Super, Z? Let me know. Also, give this video a like if you like it, and consider subscribe to this channel for more talking geeky stuff from me. I'd like to say thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're from in the world. And please stay safe. Goodbye.